Well, it's an honor to have our graduates with us today. How proud your families must be of you, and how happy we are that you are with us. For the past 12 years, some days when you didn't feel like it, you woke up, got cleaned up, got dressed, ate your breakfast, ideally, and went to school. You did that for 2,160 days. Because of COVID, you spent some of those days at home, tied to a computer, hoping life would soon return to normal. And you persisted. And now here you are, possessing a treasure no one can ever take from you. Knowledge. Knowledge, which is a wonderful thing. But it's not the only thing. There are plenty of knowledgeable people who never get around to accomplishing much of anything. I'm not sure when it happened, but at some point in our country, we believed that people who went to college were somehow better than those who went to trade school, technical school. We started thinking that community colleges, technical schools, and apprenticeships were for people who weren't smart enough to go to college. And now we find ourselves needing more and more and paying more and more for the expertise of people who work with their hands, who repair the machines and computers we own, who build the things we need, who grow the food we eat. I have a friend who, when he was 12 years old, he lives up the street from me. We bonded over our common love for motorcycles. And when he was 12 years old, he was curious about how motorcycles ran. So one summer day, while his father was at work, he took apart his father's motorcycle engine. His efforts were successful. By the time his father arrived home a little after 5, the engine was put back together. My friend knew how engines worked, and his father was none the wiser. He said, I never told him. And let that be some advice to you, graduates. There are things that you will be doing in the next 4 years that you don't have to tell your parents about, okay? In fact, they would probably prefer it. There are just some things that we don't need to know everything our children do we? We don't need to know that. We tell them that we want to know everything, but we don't really lie. We don't really mean that. There are some things you can just keep to yourself. But I really like my neighbor, and I like him because of being able to take apart a motorcycle engine at the age of 12 and having it back together by 5. I can take it apart. I can take apart a motorcycle engine all day long. It's getting it back together that's always been the issue for me. What would compel a 12-year-old to do that? Curiosity. Curiosity. Curiosity would drive it, and confidence would allow it. Curiosity and confidence, both of which my neighbor has in spades. He'll tackle anything. Home repair, electricity, plumbing, motorcycle restoration. There's a broken lawnmower in my garage because I lack the confidence to take it apart and replace the transmission seals. Jennifer was using it at her house, at the rental that we have, and it broke down, so I brought it over to my house in an effort to fix it, and I realized it would be easier for me to drive my riding lawnmower that does work 2 miles each direction to Jennifer's house and mow their yard than it would be to fix that mower. It has transmission seals that have gone bad. Now, I know how to fix this mower from watching YouTube clips. So I have the knowledge. I have the knowledge. I just can't bring myself to take wrench in hand and do the job. So knowledge isn't enough. And college degrees aren't always an indication of one's ability, intelligence, or potential. If you go to college and graduate 4 years from now, whatever else happens to you, when you walk across that stage, diploma in hand, please, please don't let it make you a snob. Don't look down on other people in life who chose a different path, because one day, in the depths of winter, a water pipe will burst in your house, and you won't be able to Google a sociologist or a doctor or lawyer to fix it. You will seek out a plumber, and when that plumber arrives, you will drop to your knees and thank God, and you will open your wallet and give them any amount of money they ask for. You will be profoundly grateful that they had a different calling in life than you did. Don't ever, ever, and this is for all of us, look down on anyone whose path in life is different from our own. We need all the gifts there are. Remember too, and I'm done picking on you, recent graduates, this is more for we adults now. Remember too that our education should never stop. I was listening to a clip of Bill Maher the other day, and he said 75% of the people in America who've graduated from high school have never read another book, and 25% are lying about it. There's always something new to learn, always. We can always do more than we think we can. We can always accomplish more than we believe, no matter what anyone says about us. I'll tell you a graduation story about my sister, my older sister, Jean, Chick. We've always called her Chick because she looked like a chicken when she was born. So I'm sure that didn't affect her sense of self-esteem or anything at all. So she graduates from Danville in 1974. She wants, above anything else in the world, to be a nurse. So when she met with her guidance counselor to look at colleges, her guidance counselor said, "You are not smart enough to be a nurse. You should be a secretary. So take a typing class." Now, there's nothing wrong with being a secretary or administrative assistant, but my sister wanted to be a nurse. So off she went to college and became a nurse. Last week, she returned from Kenya, where she has been 9 times in the past 6 years, helping Kenyan children who suffer from hemophilia. She is today one of the nation's leading experts on hemophilia. My sister, one of us finally did something. My sister, who, if she had listened to her guidance counselor, would never have become a nurse. Would never have become a nurse. Curiosity is a wonderful thing, but if you couple your curiosity with confidence, there'll be no end to what you can accomplish. So be curious. Be curious. Learn all you can and never, ever stop learning. No matter how old you get, read, think, discuss, engage. There's always something more to learn. Have confidence in your ability to do difficult and unfamiliar things. For God's sake, most of all, Don't end up being a 61-year-old man with a broken down mower you're too afraid to fix. There's another definition of the word graduate. The conventional definition is the receiving or conferring of an academic degree or diploma. But there's a lesser known definition of graduate that I want to leave you with this morning. And this is for all of us, no matter our age or vocation. The lesser known definition of graduate is to change gradually. To change gradually. What a promising word that is. Perhaps the finest word in the English language. Graduate. To change gradually. That's what education should do for us, whether it's formal education or whether it's a book we might read at the age of 60. It should gradually change us, but not just change us. It should change us for the better. If our knowledge isn't making us better people, we are learning the wrong things. If our education isn't inspiring us to become more loving, more helpful, more committed to a just and better world, we are learning the wrong things. I am amazed today at the number of Ivy League graduates now serving in government who show no evidence of having learned a thing, whose actions reflect no appreciation for history, science, or democracy. It isn't enough to receive a degree from a renowned university. It's what you do with that degree and the knowledge it represents. Use your wisdom for good. Put it to work for the good of humankind. Whether you attend college or a technical school or no school at all, use your knowledge to enhance life, not diminish it. Use your knowledge courageously. Let it transform you. You will be learning and always learning amazing things. Put it to use. Put it to use. Let it make you brave and informed. Let it help you and our world evolve. And we should do this no matter how old we are. As long as we're alive, we should study. Robert Ingersoll, the great agnostic, said, only death has the right to end our learning. Only death has the right to end our learning. Don't stop graduating just because you've graduated. Don't stop graduating just because you've graduated. Congratulations, young people. We're proud of you, and we are honored by your presence this morning.